Permission to be Powerful is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber. I used to think saying no was a crime. Not literally, of course. But judging by how people reacted, you'd think I was committing a felony. The first time I put my foot down, I was stunned by the backlash. I wasn't rude. I wasn't dramatic. I just said, no. And suddenly, I was the villain. That's when I realized something. People don't get mad because you said no. They get mad because they were expecting you to say yes. And when you break that expectation, when you stop bending, stop accommodating, stop making their life easier at your own expense, it forces them to recalibrate. And some people hate that. The backlash is the tell. There are two kinds of people in this world. People who respect a boundary, even if they don't like it. People who see boundaries as an insult, a challenge, or an attack. The first group might be surprised when you say no, but they won't lash out. The second group, they take it personally. They act like your boundary is a betrayal, like you've suddenly become selfish or changed. What they're really saying is, I liked you better when you were easier to manipulate. And that's when you see the truth. Some relationships only worked because you were willing to sacrifice yourself. The power dynamic shift. Every relationship has an unspoken contract. When someone gets used to you always saying yes, that becomes the contract. The moment you change the terms, the balance shifts. And some people would rather throw a tantrum than adjust to the new reality. That's when the manipulation starts. Guilt tripping. Wow, so I guess you just don't care anymore. Playing the victim. I can't believe you'd do this to me. Gaslighting. You never had a problem with this before. Rage. You're being impossible. All of it is designed to do one thing. Wear you down until you give in. Because that's how they keep control. And the only way out? Hold the line. If someone respects you, they'll adjust. If someone only valued you for what you could give them, they'll punish you for standing up for yourself. Either way, you'll know exactly who you're dealing with. And that's when you realize, saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It just exposes the people who never really cared about you, only what they could get from you. I used to think I had a people-pleasing problem. Turns out, I had a self-respect problem. For years, I bent over backward to accommodate everyone. I said yes when I didn't want to. I rearranged my schedule for people who wouldn't even text back. I kept quiet when I should have spoken up. And you know what happened the moment I stopped? I saw people's true colors. The myth of being nice. We're taught that being a good person means being agreeable, helpful, easygoing. That's a lie. Being nice at the expense of yourself isn't kindness, it's self-sabotage. Real kindness comes from choice. You give because you want to, not because you feel obligated. You help because it aligns with your values, not because you're afraid of disappointing someone. The problem is, when you've spent years saying yes, people start treating your willingness as an expectation. And the moment you take that away, they don't see it as you protecting your time, energy, or well-being. They see it as you taking something from them. That's why they get mad. Entitlement disguised as disappointment. Let's get one thing straight. The people who genuinely love and respect you might be surprised when you start saying no, but they won't punish you. The people who depended on your constant compliance, they'll throw a fit. Because your boundaries aren't the issue. The issue is that they believe they are entitled to your time, your energy, your help, your emotional labor. And when they don't get it, they act like you are the problem. This is the real reason people struggle to say no. Deep down, we fear the fallout. We don't want to be accused of being selfish. We don't want to lose relationships. We don't want to be seen as difficult. But let me ask you something. If a relationship only works when you abandon yourself, is it a relationship worth keeping? Boundaries are a litmus test. If someone values you, the real you, they will respect your no. If they only value what you can do for them, they will resent it. That's why boundaries are the fastest way to figure out who actually belongs in your life. Some people will adjust, some people will disappear. Either way, you win. Because saying no isn't about shutting people out, it's about making space for the right people to come in. The discomfort of boundaries. For people who are used to controlling you, Your no is not just a boundary. It's a threat to the system that benefits them. Think about it. If you were always the friend who dropped everything when they called, and now you're unavailable, they feel abandoned. If you always covered for a coworker's mistakes, and now you won't, they feel betrayed. If you always said yes to unreasonable family demands, and now you set limits, they feel rejected. It doesn't matter that you are simply prioritizing yourself. They only see what they are losing. That's why they lash out. Because suddenly, they have to do what they never had to before. Respect you. The anger is proof that it's working. I want to tell you something that took me years to learn. The angrier someone gets when you say no, the more necessary that boundary is. Because truly healthy people will accept your limits. They might feel disappointed, but they won't lash out. They won't punish you. They won't try to manipulate you. And if someone does react badly, that's not a sign to back down. That's a sign to double down. Because their anger is not your problem. It's their wake-up call. You are not responsible for their feelings. This is where most people get stuck. They know they should set boundaries. They know they shouldn't overextend themselves. They know they're exhausted from being everything to everyone. But when push comes to shove, they fold. Why? Because they feel responsible for how other people feel. If I say no, I'm hurting them. No. If you say no, they might feel hurt. But their emotions are their responsibility. Your job is not to manage their reactions. Your job is to protect your peace. Until next time, Anton Dancer, writer, Buddhist Permission to be Powerful, is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber.